if you're using Windows, you might have to deal with random pieces of hardware installing software in your computer. And in our modern age, that means more advertising. Yeah, we're going to talk about this LG issue. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Leave us a like and a comment down below. And we will be talking today about this LG situation. Now, this of course first came out about a little over 2 weeks ago when I was nowhere around, but I did see this. I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. And there is actually an update this week to this story. So I thought we'd go ahead and talk about this because, you know, we're talking on this channel about reasons why we switch to Linux. We do the Windows Wednesday, of course, where we talk about the various reasons to switch away from Windows. And this is one of those interesting cases where Windows itself, so let's kind of walk through what happened here in case you didn't see this. So if you happen to have a Windows computer and then you had an LG monitor and you just plugged that LG monitor into the Windows computer, then the computer detects as an LG monitor and then pings across the Microsoft Store and says, hey, there's an app for that. And it goes ahead and installs an application from the store. And then the application just automatically shows up sometime soon. So this is interesting. And of course, this kind of works because when you're passing, like connecting a monitor on like an HDMI cable or something, then you'll actually have some feedback about what type of monitor it happens to be. In fact, if I were to go over and just kind of show my whole desktop view here right now, I have two monitors hooked into the system that we're recording here, and you can see that these are on monitors because I happen to have two Walmart on monitors laying around when I was setting up my new office studio. And it's like, well, we'll just go ahead and use those unless I end up needing something else. But frankly, they work just fine. But you'll notice down here that the system, even here on Linux, sees the brand name of the monitor. And that really is what is at stake here, that the operating system sees what type of monitor, and then when it sees this, it can send a signal into the Windows Store to say, I've got an app for that. Now, why on God's green earth I need an app to control my monitor? That's another story. I mean, hey, Plasma, at least here on Linux, will now even it comes shipped with the dimmer, which can actually control the brightness of your monitor. It's actually pretty cool. I didn't know there really was such a thing. A friend of mine who uses Linux Mint, he installed it on Cinnamon because he likes his monitor really dim, but there's times he has to turn it up. Way easier than fiddling with the buttons, which sure, the app might make it easier to fiddle with the buttons, but this is like those old days where it's like you think you need to install software for some things, and I get it. I mean, I talk about when DVDs first came out. I got one of the very first DVD readers, like the first DVD ROMs, and it was so archaic. It had to have its own separate capture card, so I had to buy two pieces of computer equipment to get a DVD to play on the computer. Then of course it came with this install CD. I had to plug this guy in and run it and do that, and then you find that a lot of hardware has your software in it. You know, printers used to come with a disc, you know, your bundle of crap.exe bundle in there, which has like hundreds of megabytes of useless garbage on there, and all you need is the basic ability to push print, right? But then weird things like why on God's green earth does a router come with installation CDs, which it did for a long time. You know, it's like I have to install it's a router. You hook up the wires and turn it on and it works. There's nothing it needs to enter. It passes a signal onto the Ethernet, which you do not need software for this. Okay, I don't get it. So of course, even some monitors back in the day would come with some software. Of course, in some instances, in the old archaic day of old drivers and such, you might need some such software to make some niche product work. But we've standardized this stuff for a long time. Unless you have some really, really advanced, interesting monitor, and this wasn't it, I just don't see the need for an app. But anyway, going back to the article here, what they ended up doing here is when you plug the monitor in, it passes a signal out. And this, you can't really see this figure here, but it's kind of showing us that the problem wasn't Windows Update. It was the background process of the Windows Store. So the Windows Store says, oh, you have a new monitor here, and it matches what we have. And so it automatically installs the app. And what caused the controversy here is that the app, as pictured here, the app, which was like the LG Monitor app installer. So it installed the installer to install the app. And on the installer to install the app is an ad for McAfee. Yes, it's called McAfee. It is horribly, humorously bad software. So now you're getting automatically installed software you didn't ask for, wanting to install more software you don't want, with an advertisement for a silly software that probably already came pre-installed in your computer and you actually had to take painstaking time to delete it. And that is what is going on in this situation. And so this caused quite a bit of a controversy. Now, of course, Microsoft doesn't want people advertising other products on their sites. Excuse us, that is our sole domain. Push advertisements on the system. Of course, people got so mad at it, they started pulling that back a little bit, and now this third-party application popped up. And the big challenge here, and think about this, what if, and I'm going to paint you a scenario that could very well happen. A lot of stuff is just being manufactured in China. Even these security cameras that I picked up recently, well, the box advertises it's an American owned and operated company. Every bit of the backend that I found is all in Chinese. The browser prompts default to Chinese. My web browser, which says this browser is too new, install an old browser from 9 years ago. Wait for the video to come out. It's coming out soon. God. But those prompts are Chinese first, okay? I can't make this stuff up. So all this, all sorts of stuff is just made in Chinese, knockoff stuff. Even the American companies. And what's to stop some USB drive? USB drives. You often buy the USB drives, and they come with an exe file to install a bloated bundle of crap. Why has anybody ever installed that stuff? Let me know. What does it do? I don't even want to know, really. I mean, it's a USB drive. I don't need software with it. But we can envision a time that they don't do that. You plug them in and they just automatically install that bundle of crap that you've just always deleted. Like I thought this drive was new. Why is there stuff on here? Oh, it's the bundle of crap. Delete it. Got it. Now we are in a world where you could go buy that USB drive, which fortunately doesn't have the bundle of crap, because the bundle of crap auto installs because you're using Windows. What is going on in this world? Now, and that's benign. What happens now when it's some fly-by-night company, they release software, they kind of let it go abandoned, and then somebody else picks it up, as sometimes happens in, Snap packages and in GitHub repositories and things like that. And you plug in the drive and it says, hey, we have software, and because Microsoft security is grade A stellar, so much so that the security community is sick of them, now it installs actual malware just by buying something at a store and plugging it into your computer. That could in itself be a fundamental problem. Now, is that happening right this second? Not yet, but you better believe that if you can plug a piece of hardware into your computer and have it auto download a piece of software, that is going to be an avenue that's going to be exploited by hackers, because they exploit every possible avenue there potentially is. And so the article here kind of goes into what happened. It was the store background process. So they tell you the solution here, which is really funny. The solution that they give you is use your policy manager and set a policy to not do this. Unfortunately, not every Windows computer has access to the policy manager. You have to have the enterprise levels to do that. If you are lucky enough to have an enterprise model, you can stop this general behavior. The rest of you, well, you're just going to get hacked by malware, I guess, or advertising. And I'm not sure which one's worse at this point in time. So that really is the fundamental problem here with this. They are calling this a PUP, a potentially unwanted program. I disagree with them. This is an UP. It's an unwanted program. There's nothing potentially about it. You didn't intentionally install it. You didn't expect your monitor to install an application in the background. This is an unwanted program. It's an UP. So there's that. All right, so the update to this case is, as soon as this happened, there's a lot of controversy over it. People are madding out both Microsoft and LG. Microsoft's like, it's LG's fault. Like, no, it's actually Windows' fault for having such a poor security standard that plugging in a piece of hardware can download a program. That's insane. Your C-suite should not get their bonuses this year. That's a major security vulnerability. All right. And so Microsoft reaches out. Excuse me, sir. Can you stop this behavior? It's making our customers mad. Oh dear. So yeah, we've connected with the team at LG, and as an immediate next step, they have agreed to disable the McAfee pop-up on their app. Says Devolari. We appreciate LG working with us toward a shared goal of a better experience for our mutual customers. The shared experience for our customers is to push unwanted software applications. How wonderful indeed. Good to see Microsoft stepping up to help, they say, as OEMs often get away with gross practices in their hardware. Now we have to worry about just going out to the store, buying an LG monitor, bringing it back. I mean, you know what, guys? LG's also the one pushing these refrigerators that die constantly. They are pushing the televisions with the WebOS. Of course, they're not the only ones with WebOS, but they're pushing the televisions that are absolutely dystopian, doing the advertising based on psychological profiling, what they call science as a service, making psychological profiles of the people in the room so they can target them psychologically. This is like, I mean, excuse me, Goebbels just called. He would like his Nazi Germany playbook back now. LG. Lord. So there is our update. The ads are going to stop. No word if the program's actually going to stop yet, but we can hope, can't we? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Do you have an LG monitor? Are you going to buy one? You want to have psychological profiling done on you? Let me know in the comments down below.